you'll notice I've engaged in another pruning of my channel. Now, I think it would do me some service to explain to you precisely why that is. I know I don't look the most flattering in these lighting conditions with all the light focused on my worst facial creases. But in the absence of light, you wouldn't be able to see my face, which would make it pointless almost. However, yeah, in this entire house, all the lights have blown. I can never have heat again. Winter's coming up, despite the fact I'm in £3,000 of debt due to accumulation of surcharges and interest on those surcharges for, of all things, this use. It's just unreal, isn't it? Just to go further, I'm nearly £600 in debt arrears and ever rising. It's not stagnating any faster. I was almost threatened with eviction, and were it not for my negotiations, that probably would have been entirely fruitless as well. Walter has fallen out with me. Walter, I mean, fully this time, he's pretty much just done with me. In the full sense that is conceivable. He threatened to beat me up if I got over there. Threatened to beat me up with impunity and find spurious excuses for beating me up, like, oh, what was it again? If I continued my so-called passive-aggressive shit, that he would beat me up. So, anybody who happens to be a future partner of Walter's, yeah, look out for him. He's a sexual aggressor. This Walter Dempsey, psychopath fucker. What's more, Ginger's pledge, without going into further detail, was a lie. She had stopped speaking to me some 2 days ago, pretending that pressing matters were at hand without specifying further the nature thereof, which is a good indication that this is the equivalent to the old female whore trick of adolescence back in the 2000s that would be played on me. Something on the lines of, what was it? I got BRB, and then she would block you. Ginger hasn't done the blocking part. It's too female whorish in its characteristics to really take accountability for anything it does, and so it would actually prove onerous on itself to, you know, try and remove me. It couldn't do so. I say it because I don't really know if it's a real person, let alone whether I can trust it or not. So, yeah. Now I have nobody left. And Sapphire, under the Dunning-Kruger effect, despite being a 16-year-old with possibly no prospects whatsoever, believes that it has the power to get me over there through its own devices, thinking a crowdfunding would actually attract any financial resources for me without knowing how these things work. People are only sympathetic to the matriarchy. As soon as they learn of my autism, they will of course cease feeling any sort of sympatheticness towards me. And well, because of the disentanglement, the failure to disentangle autism from anything other than some sort of patriarchally related vestige, where it's almost too justifiable for single motherhood to trample upon the will thereof. See if this works any better. No. Okay. Just return it back to me then. So what was I making this video for? What was the purpose of me making this video? Pretty much that if I don't kill myself now, I will do so soon. I'm growing without options here. Psychiatric services have decided that they're done with me, or almost done with me. They only want to seem to predatorially ensnare me into a specious support service framework. Then you have, and the Acure Care and Assistant Service team have ceased wanting to do anything with me, also under the pretense that I somehow am being treated with the same urgency as everyone else, but in actual fact they had just emphasized to me that they're of a short-term availability when they probably would have said that to anyone else. I'm pretty sure that's just another example of the blatant autistophobic discrimination in the society. It's autistophobic discrimination all round. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. Everybody's betrayed to me. Everybody's lied to me. To ensure my only insurance of any sort of my torch went under. My only assurance for any peace in this world is pretty much out with this world and out with this very dimension. Seeing as being immortal here and trapped here has done nothing for me. And since we're going to switch the lights off, I think this should be the best way to conclude. Finally, and to give the message of the conclusion further to my not only this video but my existence in general. There's nothing left. I mean it. I'm holding my head as I say this. My family, the system, my friends on the internet, my only friends who I could trust, not these autistic psychopath losers who, in Britain, who are mostly retards, misdiagnosed anyway, and would be happy to predatorialize you under a bus like Robert Wayne Stiles or somebody of that functioning level. No, it seems the only people who could have actually given me a chance have decided to abandon me before they could. They seem to be all too begrudging of letting me have an existence with a proximal capacity to them. So it's really just like autism initiatives all over again, except even more insidious, because now I have a financial reliance on these bastards. No, I would never want to go with anyone ever again. I think to preserve my dignity, yes, suicidality is a way. To ensure that nothing further is investigated, I should probably also take my computer and run with that too, because really, if the police can't investigate my computer, as they often do things like that in suicide investigations, then they can't figure out the real reason for why I killed myself, which would be most embarrassing, because the system, well, mostly to the system and then to myself, mostly because they don't think anything about me is genuine, contrary to Sean's proclamation of me being diagnosed with delusional disorders or reasons for being transgate-kept. It was literally just because of my autism, because of the extreme brain fury, along with the perception I was, even independent of that, somehow too retarded to be allowed to do so. So no, there are plenty of other pathways by which you can be kept back, Sean. It's not delusional disorder is not the only exclusionary criteria. You're a bit dense for believing this. It was more real than you realize. It was real enough in that I don't want to exist as Chris anymore, and would more happily die than to fall into the vicissitude of an existence in which I would only be so phenomenally anyway, because everyone wants to abuse me or use me as some kind of lowcow of some manner. Ginger seems most perversely intrigued by this prospect. Walter, on the other hand, just seems to want to use me as a punching bag, which was no existence for somebody like me, you know. Sophie Dempsey's more than a character. It was who I was never allowed to realize myself to be. In the deepest way, in a more deeper way than Chris means anything to me. That's just a 5-letter string of characters, an 11-letter string in its full form of meaningless characters designed to demean me into the autistic, subhuman, super male rototomaton, of which all these dregs, agreeably to me, must die. But I have been there misascribed and misassociated. I would like to see if you have any honesty to yourselves, a post-mortem analysis of my brain to see how hyper male I actually am, and I will probably concede if I am a masculine at all, probably not very. So, I bid you adieu.